And good Tuesday morning, everybody. Thanks very much for joining us this morning. I'm Maria Barcher-Romo, and it is Tuesday, December 6th. It is 7:03 on the East Coast. The White House dismissing Elon Musk's newly released Twitter files as nothing more than, quote, unhealthy distractions. Watch this.
Decisions were made to censor reporting leading up to the election. My question was, is it the White House view that these decisions were made appropriately in light of what has come out?
Which decisions? By whom?
By Twitter.
We see this as an interesting or a coincidence, if I may, that he would so haphazardly, Twitter would so haphazardly push this distraction. That is a full of old news.
Okay, so I guess it was a coincidence that Twitter decided to suppress information. The Democrat Congressman Khanna defended Musk, writing a new Wall Street Journal op-ed, quote, censorship of the Hunter Biden story might have helped my party, but it was bad for our democracy. Khanna, the only Democrat to raise First Amendment issues with Twitter when the story was censored back in 2020. He comes out looking like a star because Khanna actually pushed back on Twitter to say, wait a minute, are you sure that you have this right, that this was hacked? Are you sure you can make an argument that you can censor free speech? Joining the conversation all morning long this morning is Dagan McDowell and Mark Tepper. Dagan, it was really nice to see the way Khanna spoke to Twitter. And, of course, his op-ed this morning reflects that. But this all started back in 2020 when he pushed back on Twitter and all of its censorship efforts of the Hunter Biden story. Khanna knew better.
Congressman Khanna deserves to take an "I told you so" lap, and that's part of what he's doing in his Wall Street Journal op-ed. To your point, he warned Twitter when they were censoring this Hunter Biden laptop story about the free speech implications and the political backlash of the Hunter Biden censorship in 2020. And it's kind of remarkable that the people at Twitter didn't listen to him, and members of his own party didn't either. But they knew what was on the line. And Khanna represents, and correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, he represents a district in Northern California, in the heart of tech land. So more than almost anybody in Congress, in the Democratic Party, he knows what he's talking about, and was talking to the people, talking to his very constituents, saying, do not do this. And they went ahead and did it, again, aided and abetted by people in the FBI.
Yeah. Mark.
And he even brought up New York Times versus Sullivan to kind of prove his point in those discussions.
That's right.
You know, it's good to see that somebody finally stood up to Twitter's tyranny, and it's great that it was Khanna from the left. You know, we've heard over the course of, you know, ever since we've seen these Twitter files, and we've, you know, the leftist media has been really talking about, you know, multiple variations of free speech is not absolute, right? We've heard a lot of that over the course of the last few days, which is complete rubbish. But, you know, going back to KJP saying that this is old news. For 2 years, they've been telling us this is, or maybe, a little over 2 years, they've been telling us this is fake news. Well, if it's old news, then it had to be real. And in actuality, the Hunter Biden laptop story is not the real news to come from this expose. Yes, that's important, but the real news is really how the employees of Twitter suppressed the story, the policy violation clause that they used, the hacking clause, which was bogus, and then how they all tried to cover it up, knowing that it was bogus. So it just really proves that you've got evidence that a leading social media company had been working for the Dems for quite some time, and it no doubt influenced the outcome of the 2020 election.
That's right. And what I would say is one step further, that the real story here is the FBI and the DOJ, and using the heavy hand of government to dictate what a private company is going to do. I mentioned this at the top of the show. Let's not forget that what we're talking about is internal communications in 2020. This was the campaign, the Biden campaign working with the FBI and the DOJ. We haven't seen the internal communications in 2021 while Biden was sitting in office, or 2022 this year. That's going to be really explosive, and that's what we're waiting on from Elon Musk. We want to see about the current sitting administration and how they are trying to direct and censor information. That's going to be explosive. That's coming, and lawmakers know it. James Comer came on the show on Sunday and said, we are sure, we are likely to see this administration using the heavy hand of government to dictate what Americans can see and what they can't see. So stay tuned for part 2 of this data dump from Twitter.